Social workers would sometimes say, if you don't drug test, I'm going to take your children away from you. And I wish you had that in writing in an email or in a text, because in my opinion, that could probably be a violation of your civil rights. My name is Vince Davis. I'm a licensed attorney here in California. I've been practicing in this area almost 30 years. And I get calls from people like you every day who ask me or tell me, can the social worker make me drug test? And these are people who don't even have official cases yet. And social workers go out all the time and routinely tell people, you have to drug test. You have no decision one way or the other. And people do it. Now, the first thing I want to say that most drug tests that social workers use aren't 100% reliable. As a matter of fact, scientifically, no test is 100% reliable. But generally, there's a plus or minus 5% that you might get a false positive or you might get a false negative. So before you take a drug test, you should probably confer with an attorney. You do not have to drug test, and they should not tell you that you have to drug test. Now, recently, maybe a few months ago, I was arguing a case at the first hearing to have a child released back to the father. Actually, it was 2 children. At the end, the judge ruled against me and ordered that my client do a hair follicle test. Whoa, hold on. Here in California, hair follicle tests are unconstitutional. You can't make a person take a hair follicle test at any time. However, judges routinely order it, and if you and your attorney don't object to it, it becomes the law of the test. It becomes the law of the case, and you must drug test. So I objected. I said, Judge, I respectfully object. First of all, hair follicle tests are unconstitutional in California. Second of all, at this first hearing, Judge, you don't have the jurisdiction to order my client to take a drug test. Now, in many counties across California, when you show up at the first hearing, the judge orders you to drug test, especially if there are allegations of substance abuse. In a lot of counties, like I'll mention San Bernardino County, they order you to go from that first hearing and go take the drug test right after the hearing. They do that because nobody makes the argument, excuse me, Your Honor, I'm sorry, but I object to the drug test. Respectfully, you don't have the jurisdiction to order my client to do anything regarding a drug test. Now, they could drug test if they want, but we object to the court order. And of course, sometimes you will want your client to drug test. Sometimes you won't want your client to drug test, right? Okay, so that's an argument that can even be made at the first hearing. Technically speaking, at the jurisdictional and disposition hearing later on down the line, the court can order you to drug test, but you don't have to drug test unless you want your children back. So the court, after the jurisdictional and dispositional hearing, has the authority to make you drug test in order to get your children back. But before that hearing, at the detention hearing, the judge doesn't have the jurisdiction to make you drug test. And certainly a social worker, before a case starts, doesn't have the authority to make you drug test. Some social workers tell clients, you can drug test, it's up to you. It'll look better for you, in court. And sometimes that's true. Some social workers say, you must drug test, and if you don't, I'll count it as dirty. Social worker doesn't have that authority. And interestingly enough, I think some of the social workers don't even realize that because they write it in their reports as if they do have that authority. They don't. So make sure that you and your attorney object to drug tests if it's in your best interest before a case starts, when the social worker is doing an investigation, and right after the first hearing, because the judge doesn't have that jurisdiction. My name is Vincent Davis. I get calls like this all the time. I suspect that you're probably watching this video because you have a CPS matter. I answer questions like this all the time. Give me a call and I can answer whatever questions you have. My telephone number is 888-888-6582. And do me a favor, subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel, and give me a like on this video so I can keep doing these videos to help people like you. Thank you for watching.